Oh, hello there, and welcome to Gank
Gank that.
that. Wow, it's still pouring.
How's that for ASMR?
That was some good stuff. That, of course, was the sound of a Guinness being poured. If you could nail that sound effect down, it was so much louder than the Topo Chico I ordered.
Yeah,
I
the
opened.
Topo Chico's a weak. Actually, I thought it sounded good. Yours sounded good from here.
Okay, good.
It did.
Hey, hi,
Hi, everyone.
welcome,
We're so
welcome
into our
to
sounds.
we are welcome to Gank That Drank. It's the supernatural podcast, drinking game podcast, where in every episode we make up drinking game rules and play along to them as we recap one of our favorite episodes of one of our favorite shows, Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Um,
Just need to record that and make that our intro.
yeah. Today we're taking on one of my picks. Let me first tell you who we are. I forget that part so frequently. I am Krissy Lenz, director of the Neighborhood Comedy Theater, and with me as always is Nate McWhorter, a performer, teacher, director of things, and doer of things, also at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
And you'll be seeing us soon at the Phoenix Comic-Con Fan Fest. We're doing our pod there.
Fan Fest? Fest?
Phoenix Fan Fest, no longer called Comic-Con.
Or is it not Fan Fusion?
Oh, shoot. You'll be seeing us soon at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Woo!
It's not called Fan Fest or Comic-Con. We'll be there doing the pod, so please come and see us. We don't know when or what building yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know. But we're very excited about that.
And
right?
when we do, we're also all going to petition that they do change Fan Fusion from being spelled with F's to PH's. So it's Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Oh, yes. Very clever. Very clever.
Yes. Thought of it just now. Just think we should point that out.
We're also going to be doing some of our supernatural mashups there.
Yes.
So please come and see that. We would just die if we met some friends who listen to the pod. It would just truly be such a treat.
It would really, truly be, yes.
So today we're doing one of my picks. Season 7, episode 14, Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie.
Yeah. An episode that's genuinely kind of scary.
Yeah, it has some moments, and I think the baddie is actually really creepy.
Oh yeah. Way creepier than even like the what was it, the Bartholomew or whatever from LARP and the Real Girl.
Mm-hmm. Although a similar bad guy, I would say, like
very similar in like tone, position to the story, like, and I love it. I love Supernatural, and they're like they telegraph it very much early on in the episode, like this is the guy. Keep your eye on this guy. Only other side character we're going to introduce is not like the mom of the kid.
Keep your eye on this creepy weirdo.
Because it's definitely not the manager or the janitor.
Nope.
They telegraph it, which is fine. Which is absolutely fine. You kind of want that. It was nice in an episode that has some like unsettling, like scary surprises to just have like some nice telegraph evil people. But we'll get into him because I do want to talk about his motivation a little bit.
Okay, cool.
For sure.
Spoiler alert, I may choose this one to be our supernatural mashup.
It would be so much fun. It would be our second time doing a clown mashup.
Yeah.
Because we've done
this one.
No, wait, have we done this? Oh, you've done this one. I have not done this one.
I did this
also,
one.
Also, I fed Sophie trying to keep her quiet and she's meowing, so I'm sorry.
So Sophie will be our featured co-host in this episode. That's okay. You might be able to hear Molly in the background too, barking away as Rocket plays this video game. Okay, so here are our rules for Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie. Of course, we're playing the Gank rule. Every time they say Gank, take a drink. We're playing the Sammy rule. Anytime, and just to clarify what the Sammy rule is, anytime Dean calls Sam Sammy instead of Sam,
right,
take a drink. Or anytime that someone calls him anything other than Sam and he says it's Sam.
Sam.
Yeah. That's the Sammy rule. Anytime there's an explosion of glitter, take a drink. Take a drink for every weird death. Take a drink anytime someone says Pluckys. Specifically
just Pluckys. Yeah.
Take a drink for a rainbow butt. Take a drink when we see the countdown clock. Take a drink for skee-ball justice. Take a drink for the lion chase. And take a drink anytime says, if it bleeds, you can kill it.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Here we go into Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie. Then the main thing that we need to remember in the then is that they're kind of telling us that this is season 7, so this is the Dick Romanoff, Leviathans,
big mouths.
Yeah, the big mouths.
They make reference to.
And that Sam is deathly afraid of clowns.
Yes.
And that they have had to face off against at least one evil clown in the past. All right, we cut to now. And Sam is running. He's running from a creepy clown. A creepy, ugly, scary clown. He's in this big, like, automobile warehouse, and he starts blocking the door, like, as if he's in a Scooby cartoon with, like, whatever he can fling across the door. But it doesn't work. Because there's another clown waiting inside with him already. These are magical clowns. These aren't just any deadly clowns. These clowns have some kind of magic.
Yeah. They're terrifying. They're absolutely terrifying.
They are.
They bleed glitter.
Yep.
He tries shooting one.
Yep. And poofs into glitter.
Yeah.
And then we get the countdown clock. Beep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
Like we're in 24.
Yep.
We're doing a 24 thing.
60 hours earlier. So 60 hours before the big clown fight. Yeah. The boys are at the world's last and grossest payphone. This is all season arc stuff. In what is a standalone monster of the week, of course, all my picks are monsters of the week. They get a little bit of news about what's happening with their prophet, Leonardo, and what is happening with the Biggersons and Dick Romanoff and stuff. None of it's important to this one.
Mm-mm.
But he does say that the payphone is really creeping his cheese. It's creeping my cheese.
He says that he thinks he's gonna get like an STD or something from it. The clap from it, I think, is what he says.
They also mention that Fred Savage is a Leviathan now, because that's what Leviathans do, is they take over people's personalities.
I mean, didn't Fred Savage like speak at the Republican National Convention or something?
Did he?
Or is that Scott Baio?
That's Scott Baio.
Sorry, Fred Savage.
It's not Fred Savage.
Scott Baio.
No.
I thought he went Republican too anyway.
No, I think he's fine. He's in Deadpool too. I think he's fine.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
And so then they're on a case. Here we see the body of Death by 1,000 Hickeys. He was killed by what they think is an octavamp, a giant Pacific octopus vamptopus. So take a drink. That's our first weird death.
Yes. I love when Dean gets to come up with a new monster name, and especially if it's like a hybrid between two. Like that is like always when I'm at, like we saw it obviously in Baby. I love it. This is one of my favorite things that they do in the show over and over again.
I agree. That should be its own drinking game rule.
Sophie agrees too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it would be an interesting rule. I don't, and that's like one that's like it probably doesn't hit like every episode or even every few episodes, but it probably does hit a couple times a season. Yeah. So it'd be one to be interesting to put in.
Dean gets to portmanteau a monster name.
Yes. Yeah. the portmanteau port. You have to. Everyone keep a bottle of port in their house.
Yeah.
And anytime we get a portmanteau monster in an episode,
you have to have a little port.
Which I do want to play around while we're talking drinking game rules in the moment. The theme hotel room in this episode is amazing.
It is.
The tiki theme hotel room.
It's beautiful.
Is fantastic. And like I was like reminded like we should do whenever it's a themed hotel room, every rule is a multiplier double. So every
yes.
Yeah.
And if we really had our druthers, we should make a themed cocktail that was based on the hotel room.
Oh yes, it would be like a great tiki cocktail for this one would be perfect. Anyway, that's one of my favorite probably rooms that I've seen. Yeah. I love it.
No,
it's so rich and detailed from the beds. I mean, they really took their time. And there's another set in this. I forget what it was, but I was also really like impressed with
Pluckys.
Yes, Pluckys, not just Pluckys, but the break room at Pluckys. And I was like, I get it. You could just dress up any office break room to like look like this, but the detail was really, really good.
It is.
Both at Pluckys and I loved it. Set design in this episode, A++. They were on their game on this one.
Absolutely. They used up their budget at the pot warehouse for this one.
Yes, they did.
So we meet with the widow, and the widow's all like, oh, I don't know, why don't you ask the nanny? And we get this big red herring that the nanny is going to know what's up. So Dean goes to talk with the nanny, and there's a little bit of a joke that, it's no hot chicks, but he goes and talks to this super hot nanny. She reveals that the dad and the mom both missed the B-Day party at Plucky's. And the kids were all teasing the little girl, saying that her parents didn't love her. So they're wondering now, is it a birthday wish gone wrong? Is that what we're having? She was so mad that her parents didn't make it to her birthday that she wished them to get attacked by the vamptopus. Sam is there at the house, and he wants to try and talk to the girl. They make a little joke about like, can you talk to her without tripping the Amber Alert? Ugh, I didn't like that joke at all.
No, I did not. It doesn't even
make sense.
It almost like it's like Sam is scoffing at that joke. Like there was like, it almost feels like there was like a beef in the writer's room on that joke where they should include it. And they're like, we'll include it, but Sam's not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, Sam doesn't like that joke. Also, the Amber Alert is for kidnapping, so...
Right, like I don't
like it.
That is very on brand for Dean to say something like that. So
he does go talk to the little girl. She is drawing the chalk vamptopus, and it's very scary. And she says she warned her parents that it was coming. The monster in her closet. She warned them that it was coming. We cut to a man running from a horse. And he's running and running and running. He runs around a fence only to get gored straight through his middle, because it turns out
the fence, which was obviously on the Little League field or something.
It was a baseball fence.
Yeah.
It turns out it was a unicorn. A deadly, deadly unicorn. Take a drink for rainbows coming out the butt.
Yep.
Take a drink for another weird death. And then take a drink for the countdown clock, because we cut back to right now. Sammy saying, if it bleeds, you can kill it. If it bleeds, you can kill it. So take a whole bunch of drinks right in a row.
Yep. Yeah, you made a good game for this one.
Well, there's not so many up top, but then all of a sudden they all happen. So Dean is at the anyway, the clowns are kicking the shit out of Sam. He is not winning this fight.
Not at all. Not even close.
They're beating Sam up. Meanwhile, Dean is at the unicorn crime scene. He learns again from the helpful widow that the dad took the kid to a birthday party yesterday. So he gets on the phone to Sam. Hey, do you remember Pluckys? You used to love it as a kid. And Sam's like, no, I didn't love it. It smelled and the ice cream was all grainy. And he's like, okay. So we learned that Dean used to just drop Sam off there and like kind of ditch him, and Sam hated it.
This is speaking of other supernatural tropes that I love anytime either one of the boys has some sort of like, this thing from our childhood that like someone thought I loved, I didn't love, or that like, or they just like, whenever like Dean gets nostalgic and Scooby Natural about like, anytime we were on the road, the only things that was there for me was Scooby and the gang, right? Mm-hmm. And then like, but there have been all sorts of these over all the seasons of like, oh yeah, and I sit and wonder like, did you have time to do all of this? All the things, I don't know. I guess if all you're doing is running around hunting things and the rest of the time you're sitting in motels, and
plus
probably
Dad wasn't including them in the mystery solving, so they were just sitting around watching TV.
Yeah, but then when Dean gets older, he goes along with Dad more, and they like pawn Sam off
on Bobby.
Yeah, it's but I love when that dynamic kind of comes out for both of them. Like whenever they get like nostalgic about something that happened when they were children, or in this one, fearfully nostalgic.
Yes, I agree. I do love that too. So Sam's got to go to Plucky's. It's the second time it's come up. That has to mean something. So at Plucky's, we meet the squirrely guy who's like, welcome to Plucky's, where all your dreams come true.
Who's like too good of friends with all the kids. Yeah.
Yep. Then there's a poor mom who's like obviously working there so that she has someplace that she can take her kid while she works. He has to stay and do his homework.
Scene we see later on in the episode between this mom and kid is when she's like, oh, you gotta go to school on the bus because I don't have time to take you. And I'm sorry, this is Plucky Pennywhistles, which is like known for just like children's birthday parties. If the child, who is the age of all the kids going to Plucky Pennywhistles, is going to school, you shouldn't be working.
No, it shouldn't be open at 8 a.m., which is when school starts.
Correct. And then on top of that, I know that like Dee was like, give her a break, dude, she's got a hard time, but like, come on, get your kid to school. Don't put him on the bus. That kid was like 6, like 7.
Yeah, he was like maybe a 5th grader.
Yeah. But still, Plucky's isn't open.
Yeah.
Beyond all that.
Plucky's
like Chuck E. Cheese is not open at 8 a.m. during the week.
It opens for the lunch buffet at 11.
Chuck E. Cheese does? Peter Piper does.
Peter Piper does.
I don't know about Chuck E. Cheese. I have no idea. I know Peter Piper does, and because like they get lunch buffet, yeah, and like adults are like allowed to go in there because they serve beer. Chuck E. Cheese is like kids and that's what this is supposed to, I think, represent. They have like the sign that says like you have to be under this tall to play the games or whatever. I think it's supposed to be Chuck. It's not as liberal as Peter Piper.
Right. Chuck E. Cheese is where a kid can be a kid. The last time I took my kids there, you had to get each kid had to be assigned an adult who would have a bracelet that would match them. You couldn't just go there and be an adult.
Right. Like Dean couldn't really go play the skee ball.
So, but that shows us that this place doesn't have that it has a far more lax policy than the real Chuck E. Cheese. So
true. But it shouldn't be open at 8 a.m.
They're open at 8 a.m. for breakfast pizza at Plucky Pennywhistles. Weekdays, it should be open even later. Like weekends, maybe it opens early.
Yeah, weekends open at 9 or whatever. Have your birthday party start at 9. But like, no, during the week, that should be an after school only place. Yeah. That should not be open.
Agree.
Who would go?
No one you want there. That's
right. That's what I'm saying.
All right. So Sammy flashes his badge. He's doing the agent thing, and the manager, Agent Johnson. The manager says that the kids are all invited to draw their worst fear on a placemat.
This place is wild.
So that the fears don't place into adulthood.
Insane.
And she says that he's asking about Billy's dad. Billy is the unicorn kid. And And he says, yeah, Billy's dad threw a fit because they needed to leave. The dad was behaving badly and threw a fit because the kid wanted to leave, and the kid didn't want to leave, and the dad had to get out of there. So the janitor is being all sly, and he's like, too many eyes. Come back at closing and I'll tell you the secrets of what's really going on at Plucky Pennywhistles. Meanwhile, we go back to the hotel. Sammy explains about the dad having a fit and the drawings being missing. Back at Plucky, and that's when we see the awesome tiki hotel room.
Yeah. I think we get one shot earlier of them on the bed or something, but yes, that's the one where you get a lot of the detail in it. Yeah, I love it. And then we go back to Plucky's where they're closing up for the night, and the manager,
she's doing the final money count, which is like basically the last thing that you do. And she's like, you got to go sanitize the ball pit and then you can clock out. That's going to take him hours. Forever. He's got this big machine that sucks the balls out one by one.
With how slow that thing was going, like he's going to be there forever.
But he does get eaten by a shark while in the ball pit, which is gross.
Oh, and that again, set team, stunt team, props team, whatever, amazing job. The doing it like with like the balls moving underneath and then the circling and then like taking them down the one time, bringing them back, pulling them down again, and then you get the blood splatter. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And also the blood splatter against like what, plexiglass? I think it wouldn't have, it'd be like a net, right?
Probably.
Would it? Yeah, I don't think it'd be, but still.
It makes me think of IKEA. They always had a ball.
It was a great set piece. It was a great set piece. They executed it very well. I loved it.
The next day we're there and it's a crime scene. They think he got eaten up by the ball washer. It was clearly a shark. So Sam and Dean are like, whatever this thing is, it can attack with childhood fears. So another drinking game rule I think we should make each game is whenever they think it's a tulpa.
Yes.
Because they definitely float that it maybe is a tulpa.
Yes, they definitely do. A tulpa, or like anytime it's like a Wendigo, or like they're always like suggesting it's something that we dealt with seasons and seasons ago.
And the tulpa is like a monster that's made out of fear based on people believing it.
Right. But they've suggested that one multiple times.
So many times.
And it was only once, and it was with the Hellhounds.
The Hellhounds, right? Yep. Back before they were the ghost faces.
Oh gosh.
So the next day at Plucky's, this is when the mom has to leave her kid to take the bus to school. She gives him like a quarter. Here's a quarter, take the bus to school.
Take the bus. I know they're in Wichita, Kansas. I've actually taken a Greyhound from Wichita, Kansas to Oklahoma City. But like, no. No,
that sounds terrible.
No, don't do that.
Then we go back to the clown fight. Beep, bop, boop, bop. Clown fight, beep, bop, boop, bop.
24.
Yep. We get the great line as they're examining him. The one guy who was going to rat got Bruced, which is a reference to the name of the shark in the movie Jaws, which was famously named after Steven Spielberg's lawyer. All right. Anyway, just a fun fact for you.
Bruce is also Finding Nemo?
Yes.
Fish off friends, not food. Yeah.
Which is also a reference to Jaws.
Yes.
At Plucky's, the ball pit is roped up until corporate can get there. So the manager keeps talking about corporate. Corporate is the one who want them to do these fear-based things. Corporate hired her because she wrote an essay about how she wanted to help the kids. Corporate wants to help the kids. This season is very anti-false corporate promises.
It really is the like bigger sins and the Dick Roman and it's all that. It's
very anti-corporate and anti-corporate pretending to be doing good for the community.
And I mean, we're talking air date February 10, 2012. So we're talking about 2011?
Post the 2008 collapse.
Yeah, post the collapse. So we're towards the end of the first Obama administration and going into an election year. So you still, I mean, there's, we've had Occupy Wall Street within the last year. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
that whole movement was in
Mm-hmm.
2011. So like fall 2011. So yeah, it's kind of spot on actually for where
You didn't think Supernatural was
the
political, but now you know.
but they were, no, it very, this whole season really is, it for sure is. I mean, and this episode as well goes into that.
So finally, Dean is at Plucky's with Sam, and he's just looking around while Sam interrogates everybody. He wants a big slinky. He tries to buy it from Howard, who's the the giggly employee. And Sam's like, "Oh no, you can't buy it. Money has no value here. Only the hard work of earning tickets. But it's Double Ticket Tuesday if you play skee ball." And Sam's gonna try and earn himself a giant slinky.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Sam is interrogating the manager. He's really going hard at them. Like, he is rolling hard at them with his questions. What do you know about this murder? And how do you get the placemats and take them? And he's just like, what do you know about these crimes? And the poor manager is like out there sparking up a doob.
He's not doing like hardcore. He's not, it's not like mean. He's like doing like sexy Sam.
Yeah.
Like interview. He's like smoldering.
But this poor manager, she
like...
freaks out. And he's like, High Times is not our gal because she's outside getting high. He interviews Howard, and Howard's like, oh, this is such a nice business card. I really like it. Good job. And he just cannot be broken because he's too beautiful and positive. Sam interrogates the lion. Oh, by the way, this is when we get the skee ball justice scene. So take a drink. Sam is interrogating the lion mascot who takes off. They do this big lion chase. So there you go. Drink again for your lion chase. Mm-hmm. And he finally spills the beans about the creepy sub basement. What?
After admitting that he like blew up a meth lab or something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he talks about how, have you ever been in a ball pit on shrooms? I haven't.
Dave did, the janitor or whatever his name was. Yeah.
So the bitchy mom and the sad kid are talking about how he's missing his placemat. Uh-oh, what was his placemat? Dean learned while they were having a heart-to-heart about not being so hard on her that it was a killer robot.
With laser destructo eyes.
So they split up. Sam's going to go look for the sub-basement while... Dean's going to go to the sub-basement while Sam looks around for the kid and the watches out for the bitchy mom and watches out for a 12-foot tall robot with laser destructo eyes. That's when we find out that Howard is the one behind it all.
No one saw it coming.
He has a full fire pit and a whole spell book, and he's got a whole witch's lair down here in the sub basement.
Is he living down there? He's living down there, right?
He must be.
He has to be. And that's a lot. That's a big setup for this whole operation.
Yeah.
And the fires, is that burning all day? No one's smelling that coming from.
It's a magical fire.
All right. Yeah.
But he basically explains in his big villains monologue that the parents aren't taking good enough care of their kids, and if they don't take good enough care of their kids, then they deserve what they get, and they deserve to be attacked by the kids' fears.
Right, and the kids then in turn deserve to go into the wonderful and always terrific foster care system we have in this country.
He says in the long term they'll be better off.
No. Nobody.
Also, one incident at a birthday party. Come on, Howard.
What? And then this guy's taking small snapshots of people at literally one of the most stressful and awful situations I've ever heard people have to deal with, which is a child's birthday party at a pizza place with games. Yep. And they're and he's taking it. Oh man. And that's yeah.
But he does explain
Howard represents kind of the corporate, right? Because he's like all bought into the message of it and everything. And it's these corporations that are like, whoa, we're doing all this great stuff for you. It's like we're here, and it's not really. The corporations aren't people.
Nope.
They're this podcast is taking a turn. Sorry, you got me thinking about this now and all the allegories that this episode has, and I'm like, oh no, now it really is. I didn't even think about all this.
So he reveals that he's the one who sent the clowns after Sam because he noticed. He noticed every time Plucky would look at Sam or Agent Johnson, he'd get all squirrely. And so it's like the beep, bop, boop, the countdown clock goes to right friggin' now. Sam versus the clowns. We also learned that Howard wanted the manager's job and didn't get it, so he's going to try and eventually take out the manager until he gets to be in charge of his own Pluckys. And we learned that his brother drowned because of parental neglect. So Dean takes the little clown statue that Howard made and burns his drawing of a drowned kid. And Howard's brother rises up out of the flames and drowns Howard. He dry drowns Howard right there.
Another great set piece.
Love
it.
And so poof poof into glitter. Sam is saved from these killer clowns. And we're at the BM scene where Dean reveals that he's sorry for leaving Sam behind at these horrible places that he knew weren't really fun, but he could tell himself they were fun. Where the frick did this other car come from? Because Sammy's been driving a Jeep this whole time. Don't tell me they rented that car.
It's like a little sedan, right?
Well, they've got two cars there, and one of them's the Impala, and the other one's like a Jeep.
Yeah, doesn't Sammy, he picks up this Jeep.
Where?
At some
Whose
point.
is it?
It's only for like a season or something. Or like, it's after, doesn't he, because what's before, the season before this is when he loses his soul, right?
Oh, who can even keep track? But the hilarious thing is that he's covered in wet glitter.
Yeah. Dean laughing at him.
He looks like he got attacked by a gang of strippers.
Like, yeah. That was fun. Yeah. That was fun.
Okay, so that's Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie. Here's how the rules played out. Gank was said once.
Yes.
Dean called Sam Sammy once.
I did not catch that, but I have no doubt that happened.
I got 2 glitter explosions.
I got 5.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oops. I got 3 weird deaths.
I got 3.
Pluckys was said 5 times.
I got 5.
Okay. Rainbow butt happens once.
Yep.
Countdown clock happens 3 times.
Correct.
Skee-ball justice happens once.
Yes.
Lion chase happens once.
Yes.
And if it bleeds, you can kill it. It said 5 times.
Yes.
Yay! Is that the closest we've ever come?
Other than maybe the last one, I think we've got two in a row where we've come pretty close.
Yay! We're getting better at this.
Woohoo! We are.
Episode 25 is when we really find our stride.
Yeah, that's right.
So, what is up next, Nate?
Up next, is there anything else you want to talk about from this episode, though?
Oh, is there anything you want to talk about from this episode?
I mean, I don't know. I think it was it's so good on so many levels because I think it's very fun. It actually has scare and like supernatural. Like I wouldn't say it very often has like actual kind of scary moments or creepy moments. And I think these clowns are very creepy and they do a really good job of just, I'm like, even more than, because the last episode at this point that we would have like is the episode with
the last one that we did?
The masks. No, where Sam doesn't like clowns is really
is the
in the episode with the masks. right? Or the cost.
It's the people at the carnival have a demon.
Oh, that one, right? Because then after this is when we get the with Donna and you get the whole their plush. Yeah, that one. That's after this, right? Or is that still before? So yeah, so he's still afraid of clowns after this. I love that.
Yeah, I think that one is season 11. Where the masks take over the people's personalities.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
I think the clowns are pretty scary. I think that when Howard reveals his master plan, it's pretty creepy, and his like weird like giggling like hee 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 hee
and doesn't make sense. And like this guy's whole motive doesn't make sense. Like other than like the only explanation is that he is literally just a creepo and they don't like he's not an adult. He's like a retro. He's stuck in childhood.
Yeah. But isn't that one of the themes is being stuck in childhood? So the Plucky Pennywhistle's goal is to have your fears not follow you into adulthood. Where here we're seeing Sam and Howard, who have both had their childhood fears follow them into adulthood. So that's kind of the theme here.
True. Yes. Yeah.
And like don't trust corporations. Those are our lessons learned. Don't let your childhood fears follow you into adulthood, and don't trust corporations.
If it bleeds, you can kill it.
And if it bleeds, you can kill it. Yeah.
Which is from Predator,
it is.
Of course. There's so many great references in this.
Yeah.
Though, in this whole thing. You have the I am the Eggman line. You have obviously all the 24 stuff. The Breaking Bad reference. The Juggalos, when he calls the clowns Juggalos. That was funny. Yeah. There's so many good
Bruce
funny lines.
Reference.
Great episode. Bruce, everything. This is our next episode, Krissy, we are doing, and I really hope that when I did my notes, I wrote down, I did season 11. Speaking of season 11.
Season 11 is a great season.
Oh, it's wonderful. It is like the second sweet spot of the show. Or kind of like towards the end of a very
6
long.
and 7 are great. Yeah, spot. And then 11, 9 and 11 are great.
Yes. Yeah. 10 is what's his butt, right? Metatron.
Yeah.
All right, season 11, episode 15, Beyond the Mat.
Yeah.
I love this episode. Loved it the first time I watched it. Loved it again when I did the rewatch. Try to make the rules. The rules are someone or something dies. We're drinking along with this one.
Okay.
We're drinking along. If you feel like sipping at some point, sip, because there's definitely a point you're going to maybe want to sip. Montage. Take a drink during a montage. Okay. Demonize.
I love Demonize.
Time we get Demonize, we're taking a drink. I've named this one for this episode Crawlin' Crowley.
Oh, I love Crawlin' Crowley.
Crowley crawling. Take a drink. And, of course, we're playing Sammy and Gank. And then, like I said, I may go back and do another watch and add another rule or two that we'll have to then maybe just say at the beginning of the next episode.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, excelente. Yeah. I can't wait for that one. I love that episode.
I'm so excited.
It's a good one. You're gonna enjoy that one. So do your watch, play along with these rules, and then come back for our recap and review. Nate McWhorter, where can people find you doing all your fabulous comedy?
Oh, they can find me at 214 West Main Street in downtown Mesa at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater. That's where you can find on Friday nights at 7:30 and Saturday nights at 7:30 and occasionally at 9:30 on either one of those nights. Occasionally,
last Saturday of the month.
Check the calendar. Yep. Yeah, last Saturday of the month, and then 9:30 on Friday. I think we're doing some Friday of the month. Yeah, nctphoenix.com. That's where you can go to find all the deets and dates on all that stuff. Come check it out. It's super fun. Friday night is a Main Street show, which is one form of improv, and Saturday night is the regular competitive show, which is a different form of improv. And they're both wonderful forms to do and participate in. So come check it out if you're in the area.
Yes, indeed. Please do. And, if you want to learn more about Gank That Drank, you can go to truestory.fm to like us. Wherever you're listening to this, you can rate and review us. It really helps us out. And if you've made it this far, please do those things. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we love you. We appreciate you. And hey, when you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things, the family business, keep your lesson learned in mind.
If it bleeds, you can kill it.
And don't let your childhood fears follow you into adulthood.
And don't let your kid ride the city bus to school.
And be excellent to each other. And party on,
Party on, dudes.